No bueno. Alright, how's it going, everybody? So, in the last video, we discovered we have a bent valve on cylinder 4. So, today, we'll be diagnosing and potentially repairing. So, let's get into it. Alright, now that I got the valve cover off, I went ahead and set the crankshaft to top dead center. And if you look over here, it looks like the camshafts are still in time. So the timing is good on the engine, surprisingly. Alright, so I'm really confused right now. I was really banking on the fact that timing would be messed up. That was kind of like my only prediction that could cause something like a bent valve, but the timing is good. So I don't know. I guess all we should do now is just keep tearing it apart and see what else we can find.
From my winter hell, I've got candles and candy. I can be your daddy if you only let me creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal? Your choice is seminal. I want you to stay true to what's right for you, no matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way. Try to stay true. Just speak low, stand in your row. Try not to show this life's a show. Try not to glow, way down below, oh, it's a lot of woe. And that's not a place where you would like to go. I've got cigarettes and brandy, which could come in handy if you just help me loosen up my hand grenades fuse. Baby, don't refuse, not true, but it's up to you not to choose. I want you to stay true to what's right for you, no matter who or know what will others say. Just
Oh boy. Alright, so I had a little oopsie trying to take off the cam cover. Right when I started lifting it up, all the lifters popped out and they kind of went all over the place. So I had to go back over the footage, and fucking thank God I was recording. I was able to figure out where exactly each one fell from what position. So I'm pretty sure I got them all in the right spot where they're supposed to go. But I think for the next one, for the exhaust side, I'm gonna try something different. Nice and easy this time. Nice and easy. Alright, that was a lot easier. I kind of lied about using a different method. I was waiting for, I ordered some magnets online, and I was waiting for them to show up, but they're not showing up till tomorrow. So I decided I'd go ahead and try it anyways. But it actually worked out pretty well. What I did differently was I lifted like one side up and left the other side down, and just slowly lifted this side up and just let them fall one by one. And that kind of helped like allow them to fall uniformly and stay relatively in the same spot. So it worked out pretty well. But I'm still going to use the magnets on the install, since I'm going to have to flip these over and they're going to want to pop out. But I'll show you when I put everything back together. Alright, if you can tell, this spring is standing up a little higher than the rest of them. And if you look closely, it comes off. But it looks like part of the valve's still on there with the keepers and everything. And there's the other part. Right down there. Yeah, that's a problem. Alright, take that off.
Laid under the willow tree the last weekend of summer. The empire at our fingertips, the autumn to discover. If I would have had the worthiness to be the perfect lover, would you stay under the willow tree when I asked if you would be? Would you be my Valentine? Would you be my Valentine? Still I lie within a memory, devoted as your lover. You could take my hands and cover your eyes and tell me there's no other. Would you be my Valentine?
Alright, take two. Alright, so I also noticed that piston 4 got a little banged up. It definitely hit. It's got a little witness mark on it. But as I was looking around, it looks like the cylinder walls are in good shape. And everything seems okay. So besides that mark, I think everything else is fine on the bottom end. Spins and everything, so still in one piece. Alright, appears as if the valve is stuck. So I'm gonna smack it with the hammer and see what happens. It's really stuck. We got it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and check the guides for play. I got the new valve here. I already have it lubed up. So let's slide it in. Move it around. And I don't feel any play. So that's good. Try the other side. This is like a known good. This around. Yeah, no play. Check it again. Very slight, if anything. Yeah, this one's kind of the same. Okay, I think we're gonna call the guides good, and now we can just go ahead and I'm gonna order 2 of the valve guide seals. So I kind of messed these up, and right now what we can do though is I can go ahead and flip the cylinder head around and we'll start lapping the new valve and mate it to the cylinder head. And another thing is, if you look real closely at the valve guide, compare it to this one, it does look like the valve kind of bent it a bit. It's looking more like an oval than a circle. I'm still going to try to salvage the cylinder head. We're going to get it all fixed up. We're going to put it back in the car and we're going to run it and send it. But if it has any future problems after this, then I am going to go ahead and replace it. Alright, so to lap the valves, this is what I'll be using. This is just a suction tool to hold the valve, and this is the valve grinding compound. So we're going to do that, and we're going to mate the new valve to the cylinder head. I think I might have done this one time at UTI. I do not remember. Make sure it's on there. And we spin. We're supposed to keep going until the face turns into a goldish color. Keep doing this for a while. So I don't know if you can see this. So it's definitely changed color into more of a dullness. That's a word. Yeah, it's not the paste, that's the actual valve. Alright, I think I'm gonna add some water and do it again. Alright, so I cleaned it off, put it back in. It's not making a noise, no squeaks. I think that means it's good. Dope stuff. Okay, cool, let's move on. Alright, so check this out. So you see this? This is the previous tool I was working on, or I was using a... Alright, so you see this? This is the tool I was using to try to seat the keepers to the valve. Thing is, this is trash. It does not work with this. So I made a jig. Shout out to the YouTube video that I saw that did something similar to this. I'll link the video in the description. But yeah, I was struggling with this tool here for about 2 hours, just trying to get the fucking keepers in, and I couldn't even get one in. So I gave up on that, and I made my own. So yeah, this is the jig. The welds aren't the best, but I don't need them to be, so it's fine. Let's go ahead and get these keepers in, get the valves done, and then put the cylinder head back on and put the engine back together. Let's do it.
I spend my days in despair, for in my mind you're still there. When nights turn cold and blue, how will I live without you? I count the days since you've been gone. Somehow, someway, life goes on. I took the good with the bad. You're still the best I ever had.
back together, we don't have to keep playing Tetris just to get the exhaust on. So let's get that taken care of. Oh, you know what? I just realized it's like 2 in the morning. This might not be a good idea. It's actually 4 in the morning. Well, rise and shine. Oh, one more thing here. I'm actually going to apply some sealant to this spot right here and this spot right here before I install the head gasket. I forgot to do this last time, and if you don't do it, it's just going to cause oil leaks, so best to get it done right now. Smudge it on. This one. Alright, let's put something on.
What could I have done to make it last? The sleepless nights bring dreams of you. How do you do the things you do? I count the days since you've been gone. What the heart? Somehow, someway, life goes.
Alright, so for my second solution here on the lifter problem, I went ahead and purchased some magnets online off Amazon, and they just showed up. And I just got some filler rod off just some steel filler rod from a TIG welder. And I'm pretty sure I might have seen this in a video somewhere. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm going to do. And I think it's working. It's coming up with all of them. So yeah, that's my solution. Alright, so check this out. I was going to put the lifter guides in, right? So this is where they go. This is the intake side. There's one guide pin. Over here, there's supposed to be a second guide pin, but it's missing. Why are these things happening? I have no idea, man. Like, the questions just keep adding up on this build. I checked the previous footage, and it looks like it was missing from the start. So that could be another potential cause to the damage on the valve on the intake side. That's where it was. Questions just keep adding up. Alright, a couple days later, looks like the new pin finally came in, so let's continue with this build. Alright, so this is kind of my method of installing the pin, since it was going to be pretty difficult installing it on the cylinder head itself. I'm going to go ahead and do it on the lifter tray here. I just placed it in, tapped it in, and now that it's in, let's go ahead and everything else installed.
The sleepless nights bring dreams of you. How do you do the things you do?
So my GoPro batteries ended up dying about halfway through the rebuild, but I managed to put everything back together now. As you can see, got the manifold on, got the intake stuff on, got the engine back together. So I think now what we're gonna do is go ahead and do the compression test on cylinder 4 again and find out if the repair fixed it, and then we can move on from there. So let's do the compression test. In
Alright, so I ended up doing the compression test on all the cylinders again, just so we could have numbers to compare each other to, and ended up working out pretty good because, as you can see, pretty sure last time we did the compression test we were getting numbers closer to like 190 and 200, but this time looks like all the numbers dropped a bit. I'm guessing it's because there's less oil in the cylinder heads, just because it got cleaned up a bit. So whatever the case, what I wanted to see is, especially cylinder 4 here, I wanted to see all these numbers being fairly close to each other, and it looks like we did that. We achieved that. Cylinder 1 got 145, cylinder 2 140, cylinder 3 145, cylinder 4, the one with the damaged valve, got 145, cylinder 5 got 150, and cylinder 6 got 140. These are all within 10 of each other, so I'm gonna say this test passed. If we go just off of this test, it seems that we did end up fixing the problem, but I guess we won't really tell until we take the car for a drive.
Okay, so to answer the big question, what caused the bent valve on cylinder 4? So I've been thinking about it over the past couple days, and I've really only come up with like 2 solutions, or like 2 causes to what could have caused it. I know it's timing related, right? It has to be timing related, I would think. You know, this just isn't normal. Somehow, some way, the piston had to make contact with this valve, and they met in at the wrong place at the wrong time. So my 2 theories are, one, that it was a Vanos. So to preface, when we checked the timing was correct. Everything seemed fine. Even the Vanos timing seemed like it was correct. I'm guessing if it was Vanos related, it might have been with the tune. Perhaps Vanos came on at a certain point, and the timing was already pretty high up, and the engine was already advanced enough that when the Vanos kicked in, perhaps it was like too much timing advance and could have bent the valve. That's just me guessing. The other possibility, which is something that we did find wrong with the engine, I guess you would say, wrong or something that was off, was the lifter tray. The lifter tray on the intake side was missing a guide. It was missing a guide pin on the back side. I don't know why I was missing that guide pin. I did have the cylinder head machined previously, so perhaps, I know they had to take out the cams, so perhaps they had to take everything else off as well. But it's hard to say at the same time. Like, I wouldn't want to blame them. You just don't know. Like, I just don't know what it could have been. But for some reason, the fucking guide pin was missing on the valve, or on the lifter tray. So if that's missing, the cam could have been misadjusted and not like perfectly straight like how it should have been, and that could have caused, you know, for some reason, like tension to be some kind of like strange tension to be put on the valve and cause it to snap off, or could yeah, I don't know. It's a strange one, honestly. Like I said, I was initially thinking that, you know, we would see something more significant, like especially timing related. We'd see, like, you know, timing being off on one of the cams or what have you, but everything checked out okay. There's only like those 2 small things that I was talking about, where it was either the Vanos timing being off, or, you know, where it was either the Vanos and the tune being off, or it could have been potentially the guide pin missing from the from the lifter tray under the cam on the intake side. So at least we fixed both of those problems, as well as the valve. So we got a new guide pin, as well as I'm going to be adjusting the tune and I'm actually going to be shutting off the Vanos just because now I have trust issues with it. So I'd rather have it off for now, since I don't think it really makes that much power. But yeah, that's kind of just been my thought process as to what could have caused this, and I guess we've made adjustments to both those problems. So hopefully we shouldn't have this shouldn't have valves bending anymore, hopefully. But okay, so honestly, I don't know how long this video has been going for. Hopefully not too long, but if so, so be it. I've recorded a lot of footage for this video. It's been over the process of like 2 weeks, I think. So just a lot of waiting and a lot of trying to manage my time off of work and stuff. I'm actually kind of sick right now, so I'm off of work, which helps with making videos. But I think I'm gonna cut it off here. So right now we have the engine put back together, we got the intake on, we got the turbo manifold on. We are going to be making some changes for the next video. Actually, I decided we should go ahead and downsize the turbo. So right now it has a GT35 on it. So in the next video we're going to be downsizing the turbo from a GT35 to a GT30. I just feel like a GT30 is going to be more of what I'm looking for in the power range that I want, since I don't really need that much power right now. All I really want is like 350 to 400. I think the GT30 would be kind of just, since it's slightly smaller, I'm thinking it should be the right size to give me that like fast spool up time, and deliver the power that I want relatively quickly. So we're going to be doing that in the next video, which is going to be pretty cool, pretty exciting. We'll get to do some welding and some fabricating stuff, and then I'll tune it up a little bit. Like I said, I'll turn off the Vanos, and I'll do just a couple other quick things, and then we can start the car and see how she runs. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like it and subscribe if you're new. Just want to thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.